At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Well, good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Happy Monday to you. You know, yes, the day after Easter. I know it's kind of an early time for Easter this year. Of course, there's some kind of big explanation behind that. I don't remember that offhand, but it has something to do with, when, Easter kind of comes in a certain time of the year, but interesting nonetheless. How'd you do? Did you have a good time? You know, I don't think we could have asked for better weather out there. It was absolutely gorgeous out there. And yes, happy April Fool's Day. So it's one of those things where you got to put in the back of your mind that someone is going to try to trick you. So at this point in time, do what you can to kind of suspect any kind of jokes or anything that someone's trying to fool you out there. I can almost guarantee, as you know, I do the radio updates with Don and Heather in the morning, and I can almost guarantee you, in fact, I'm not going to almost, I am going to guarantee you that they're going to try to trick me. Although maybe I should try to come up with a good trick. I don't know. We'll see. If you're watching, hold on, guys. So yes, be careful out there because people love to play pranks and tricks. But you know, it's all hopefully usually in good fun. I remember years and years ago there was a big prank. I was a big Friends fan. You remember the sitcom Friends? Snowing in Reading. Hey folks, it's going to snow today in Reading. No. I tried to not play tricks on people with the weather because that's just not fair. Because if people want snow, they're going to, but you know, I think it's hard to convince anyone today that it's going to snow in Reading. But anyway, years and years ago, it was this series finale of Friends. And I remember, I think it was the network, NBC, was on NBC. And they told everyone, they said, press announcement, all this stuff. We are extending Friends another season. It's not going to be the series finale. Boom. Everyone was fooled by it. They're like, this is so great. Because, it was a very popular show, the show Friends. I don't know if any of you remember that show. I was a big fan. Loved it. Every Thursday, I always wanted to watch it. But, so yeah, just look for those. Good morning, happy April 1st. And and it's also kind of the beginning of when we really start getting into that spring season. But what we're going to discover here down the road, it's not going to feel so spring-like in a couple of days from now, which we'll get into that in a second. Before we get into that, and I don't normally do this, but I had to do this because first and foremost, we're selling a car. And it's actually not this car anymore. We were going to sell a different car. But anyway, I wanted them to detail the Chevy Volt that you see here on your screen here. It was just in shambles. It was embarrassing. I didn't want to do before and after because the before was embarrassing. So it was in just terrible shape. But I called them up for the first time, A's Mobile Car Wash and Detailing. Called them up. I said, listen, I'm selling my car. I need to get this, washed as soon as possible. Well, it was a week out. And they actually came out on Easter Sunday. I said, listen, are you sure you want to come out on Easter Sunday? And they said, yeah, we just... So they came out Easter Sunday morning, yesterday morning, to wash our car. Now, granted, we gave them a nice tip because they did a phenomenal, awesome job. And they were washing the car for it seemed like over 4 hours. I think it was. They spent probably 4 hours in the car. And I felt terrible because they spent their Easter morning washing out our car. But again, they did a phenomenal job. I highly recommend it. You can see there, it's called A's Mobile Car Wash Detailing Services. Even if it's something that's routine, they did, and you can see this great setup. It's all mobile. They come to you. So if it's at your work or at your home, they will come to you and wash your car. You can see the phone number on your screen there, 530-560-1414. They did not pay for this for advertising. I just wanted to give them a shout out because they did an amazing, amazing job. And if you've ever experienced these folks, then you've had a good experience because the car is just beautiful. And now we can drive it and it's nice and clean. All right, so enough of that. Let's get to what's going on out there for some of you. Snowing in no. Good morning. Good morning. Happy April morning, everyone. Friday and Saturday had a total of 8,300 rain in Shingletown. Yeah, keep in mind, we still saw that rain out there in many locations and even some snow off into the higher elevations. And it turned out to be a bit of a kind of a wet end to our work week, and not to mention even going into your Saturday. In fact, I want to show you some images that were sent to me on Friday. This was from Rob Ramshaw. Of course, he's the owner of the Ace Hardware there in downtown Mount Shasta. Look at this. They got some snow. And if you recall, I had indicated that, we could probably pick up a little bit of snow up in Mount Shasta area. Look at that. On Friday, there it was. And of course, you can bet the ski park I got to see some snow out of this as well. So just a beautiful quote-unquote winter wonderland out in Mount Shasta City there on Friday. This was also sent to me by Catherine Schmidt. This is out in Castle on Friday. There you can see the deer just kind of hanging out. Looks a little cold. It looks a little chilly for them, but they were certainly some troopers out there. So there you go. Yes. Okay, I just want to do that. We got to recommend the local reliable businesses. That's what we're all about here. We want to stay local and keep things local and really support our local community, whether it's in Redding, whether it's in Chico, whether it's in Eureka, places here in Northern California, because as you know, I reach out to as many people as we can. Woke up to a warm fire this morning. Yeah, I suppose if you're in the mountains where we are seeing those colder temperatures, right, you can, of course, want to maybe get that fire going. Want to remind you, too, that, what am I doing here? Want to remind you, too, that there are many different ways in which you can watch Weather NorCal and get your forecast from Weather NorCal. Of course, from the free Weather NorCal app. If you're new to Weather NorCal, number one, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Coffee with Krueger. You can watch Coffee with Krueger on your phone, by the way. And when I send out that notification, you tap on that notification, it'll take you right there. So as soon as you get that notification, just tap that notification and that will immediately take you to the 24-hour streaming channel. Give it a second, because what it does is it takes you to the screen and you're like, well, what's going on? Give it about, 5-10 seconds and eventually that live stream will pop up. If it doesn't, just tap the arrow on there and that will start getting that live stream going for you. But you can get your neighborhood forecast, you can get everything. Everything that's offered in Weather NorCal, you can get from the Weather NorCal app. And by the way, also want to remind you some of the ways that you can watch from your TV. A lot of people are surprised, like, hey, you can get this on your TV. Yeah. You have a Roku? Boom. All you got to do is go to the Roku store or the App Store on Roku, search for Weather NorCal, and you'll see there. You'll see the Weather NorCal logo there. Tap on that. It's a free app, right? Amazon Fire Stick, if you've got one of those, same thing. Just go to that store, search for Weather NorCal, and before you know it, you're watching it on your screen. And, sometimes those apps may get a little, sometimes don't work 100%. So you can use a backup. And if you have a smart TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, anything, if you have any kind of smart internet access to your TV and it has smart TV access to it, just go to YouTube. YouTube usually work in there, and you just go to the YouTube channel, search for Weather NorCal, and you'll find the YouTube page for Weather NorCal, and you can just click on the live. But what's also cool about the YouTube channel, even on your TV, is you can scroll and watch the latest video forecast that I recorded, maybe for the morning or the afternoon or in the evening. So that is another great resource for you. All right, let's check in and see how everybody else is doing out there this morning before we kind of get into a little bit of the forecast here this morning, kind of get you out the door. Good morning to everyone. It looks like a beautiful day from Curtis out 7 miles west of Red Bluff. Well, there in Red Bluff, you're looking at about 51 degrees and maybe a little bit chillier just west of Red Bluff. But there you can see temperatures in the mid 50s out towards Redding, 48 degrees in Chico right now. And of course, we do have those temperatures in the 20s and 30s in the eastern mountains. 30 degrees in Weaverville, 30 in Hayfork, and look at that, quite a difference in those temperatures for Eureka to Crescent City, upper 30s Eureka, upper 40s for Crescent City. And it could just be that little bit of a wind out in Crescent City, keeping those temperatures up a bit. And by the way, a little breezy for some of us in the southern end of the valley. Looks like out towards places like Willows and maybe Orland is seeing a little bit of a breezy winds out there this morning. Of course, that's going to keep your temperature up a little bit as well. As far as the visibility is concerned, you actually started off Easter morning in some areas around Redding with some fog, believe it or not. I don't see that this morning, but we are going to, of course, we got those clear skies. I'm looking out the window, can even see, just a beautiful moon. It's that kind of that perfect half moon. Beautiful. If you haven't seen it, go check outside. Look outside this morning. It is gorgeous. A little breezy in Red Bluff too. Okay, so that makes sense. Of course, those winds not as strong in the Redding area. Good morning, nice and clear in Palo Cedro. Have a fabulous April, fabulous day too. Looks like there was some fog in some of the mountain valleys there in Trinity County, but looks like overall things have kind of cleared out. By the way, this is something I've been talking about all last week, and there were a lot of other weather outlets saying it was going to completely dry on Sunday. I just didn't quite see that happening. Now, we did, for the most part, it was dry. The valley was dry for the most part, and of course to the west of the valley. But take a look at the radar. Yesterday afternoon, we saw a little bit of activity trying to make its way into Butte County. There was some activity in parts of Lassen County and also Plumas County on Sunday afternoon. Saw some of that rain and snow out there as well, and even some lightning strikes out towards Sacramento. I remember I was watching Sacramento weather, and they're saying, it's going to be beautiful on Sunday, no rain, all that good stuff. I'm like, I don't know. I don't agree with you on that. And boom, there have those showers and thunderstorms in the Sacramento region. Now, granted, I was expecting maybe some of those showers to come as far west as, say, places like Redding and maybe Red Bluff. Didn't quite happen. It was close, though. And then, of course, I was expecting Siskiyou, western Siskiyou County in particular, Delaware and Humboldt counties and Trinity County to be dry, and that certainly was the case. So, yes, I was watching that system was off to our east, and it did produce a little bit of that rain and snow off in the eastern portion of the area. But in the meantime, we've of course got that area now down to the south, Southern California, seeing some of that wet weather. But for us, boy, that ridge of high pressure is really building in, and that's going to give us this gorgeous weather. There's your neighborhood forecast for today. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous weather, right? Temperatures in the mid 70s for the valley. Could even get some upper 70s there this afternoon. For the coast, low 60s. I'm expecting for most of the mountain locations to be in the 60s. A little bit warmer in Siskiyou County at about 68, but Modoc, Eastern Mountains in the low 60s for your daytime highs. Let's go and take a look at Lake Oroville. There you can, of course, see the clear skies that we have out there right now. Looking at Main Street, Chico. You've got the clear skies out there this morning and not much traffic. Maybe some people have the day off or the week off or whatnot, but there you can see Highway 99 at Neal Road. Usually, there it goes. I was wondering if it was going to kind of refresh itself. Looks like we got some traffic on Highway 99 there, but looks like it is flowing smoothly. There's Sundial Bridge Drive, that is, on Highway 44 in Redding. Looks like you got the clear skies there as well, and it looks like traffic is flowing smoothly there as well. No chain requirements to speak of. Isn't that nice? I mean, there's some leftover snow on some of the mountain highways on the side of the road, but not on the road. So if you have to drive on those mountain highways this morning, looks like you are in good shape. Of course, let's kind of look at some of those cameras out there this morning. Let's take a look at Futurecast. And there's a look at today. We're just going to take a look at today, give you an idea that, yeah, we've got sunny skies all day long. There may be a little bit of cloud cover trying to make its way on the coast this afternoon, but even the coast will most likely be looking at sunny skies. And then going into tonight, looks like some fog trying to develop along the coast, especially around Eureka, Humboldt Bay. Seeing some of that, but again, mainly clear skies going into tonight as well. By the way, a lot of you have been kind of talking about the lake levels. You've been kind of hearing about the lake levels, so let's take a look at them. This is the latest look from this morning. Historical average for all of the lakes, Trinity, Shasta, Oroville, all over 100%, where we typically are this time of the year. And the capacity, I mean, over 80% for all of the lakes as well. And we've seen increases day after day after day. And this is just great news. And then someone was asking, well, thanks for those lake levels, which, by the way, you can access the lake levels Monday through Friday. The latest updates there, at least it's updated once a day. And they were asking, well, thanks for the lake levels, but what about the rain totals? So I thought, you know what? Let's talk about the rain totals. And there you are. Over 100% out at the Reading Airport. That's the way it's been the last several weeks. About 100% out towards the Red Bluff as well. Not doing as well as last year, but still can't complain. Look at Eureka, 126% of the season, and even better out at Crescent City, 140% of average with 66 inches of rain plus since October 1st of last year. That's when the rain season for California starts, by the way. There's Mount Shasta, 118% of average. Montague out near Wairika, 80%. And this is where we've seen typically less rain, is northern Siskiyou County. And by the way, even less rainfall in Modoc County. But even Alturas, now 110% of average for the season. This is great. All right, let's take a look at your forecast for today. There's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures today in the mid-70s. Oh, man, it's gorgeous out there. But look at that 7-day outlook. You're going from 74 today to 49 degrees for your high on Thursday. Here's the thing. We could even see a rain-snow mix possibly in Weaverville and Hayfork by the time we get into Thursday and Friday. All right, we take it to the south. Hayfork, a high of 71, 72 degrees for High and Palm, 71 for Ruth, and Mad River, a high of about 68 degrees. Let's take you out to the north coast, southern Humboldt County. There again, you're talking 74 today for Redway, down to 47 on Thursday. So get out there, enjoy this beautiful weather today and tomorrow because, yeah, it's not going to last forever. We take you up to the north, Arcata, about 62, 68 for Blue Lake. Chance for showers starting as early as Wednesday, although I think the bulk of any rain and snow will really arrive on Thursday. It depends on where you are, too, which we'll take a look at that in our deeper dive forecast a little bit later. But there you can see the showers possibly coming in as early as Wednesday. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, also looking at the snow levels dropping down to 2,500 feet. So that means snow for places like, maybe Etna. Of course, not to mention Mount Shasta City as well. But then we start to see those snow levels climb back up to about 3,000 to 4,000 feet by the weekend. But they're starting off very high, 6,000 feet and higher. So it's going to be that colder air eventually pulling in Wednesday night and into your Thursday. But there you can see Canby today, a high of 62. Altura 62, a little bit cooler in Cedarville with a high of about 58 degrees today. Take you off into the eastern mountains with Old Station about 56, Viola 59, and Paynes Creek about 68 degrees for your daytime high. And there you can see Lake Elminor West 59, as well as Lake Elminor Peninsula. There's Chester at 61, of course, much cooler out of the Lassen Volcanic National Park. There we take you to the south of Paradise, a high of 67 and sunny skies, 58 in Kronberg and 61 degrees in Susanville. And for your valley neighborhood forecast, there, of course, you can see temperatures are going to be in the mid-70s for your daytime highs. We take you up north, 71 for Whiskeytown, 75 for Palo Cedro and Cottonwood, and 71 degrees in Lakehead. All right, let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Reading. Upper 70s for Monday and Tuesday. And then, of course, we're talking about those temperatures in the mid-50s. We're talking over a 20-degree drop from Monday to Thursday. I mean, that's a big drop. So this is definitely going to be unseasonably cool for this time of the year on Thursday, not to mention Friday with those showers. Now, here's the thing. I think Wednesday we'll see late in the afternoon, evening for Reading, maybe Red Bluff. Chico probably dry on Wednesday. Now, Thursday, chance for showers continue. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, got a chance for showers. But I want to stress that this is not going to be a lot of rain. We're talking less than a quarter of an inch, I think, in most cases for Wednesday all the way through Sunday. Just kind of give you an idea. This is not going to be a lot of rain heading our way. If anything, it's going to be mean more snow in the Sierra, which could be upwards of a foot of snow for some of the Sierra locations. But overall, just not a ton. Hey, by the way, this is something I haven't really talked a lot about because unfortunately it's a bit of a bummer for us because we're just not going to get much of that solar eclipse. Take a look at this. There you can see the eclipse path. So if you see that darkest part, it says the eclipse path. That's going to be where you have a total solar eclipse. Now, just going to talk about that. That's when the sun will be completely covered by the Earth's shadow, 100%. And at that point in time is when you can actually look at the eclipse with your bare eyes, only when it's 100% covered. So if you're heading out there, that's going to be awesome. It's going to be a beautiful sight, right? You're going to see the dimming of the sky because of that, right? But take a look at where we are. This is next Monday, a week from today. We're going to be within most of us in the 30 to 40% coverage. You head northwest of Redding, it's only going to be 20 to 30%. So it's kind of one of those, it'll be neat. It'll be neat to see the shadow of the Earth, kind of that little crescent, but certainly not as spectacular as getting the full solar eclipse. But if you recall, last year, when we did see the annular eclipse, where we saw the ring of fire, at least in extreme Northern California around Modoc County, right, and then northward into Southern Oregon. So we had I had an opportunity. We headed out to Ashland and went out there to check out the annular eclipse, and it was really cool. But I think it'd be even more spectacular to see a full solar eclipse. Not this time for me. So hopefully you're getting out there to check it out. But kind of neat. By the way, of course, today is Monday, and we have got our Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals, which is proudly sponsored by Cottonwood Vet and Small Animal Clinic. And, if you've ever been to Turtle Bay and you're kind of roaming around where all the animals are, you may hear a bunch of birds chirping away. Well, those are the lorikeets, and they are amazing animals, and they have got a ton of them. And one of the things I learned with Sharon Clay is that they've got I forget exactly how many lorikeets they have, but there are a lot of them. And they've actually named all of those lorikeets, which is pretty amazing. So let's get you to Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals, and then you'll kind of learn more about that and those birds in general. Hello everyone, Mike Krueger, Weather NorCal. This is the Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. Joining me now is Sharon Clay from Turtle Bay, and joining me now is Hector, John, and who are you know their names? Oh my gosh.
You know what? Every single one of them has names, and most of them are named after colorful candies.
Okay. Skittles.
Yeah. So there's Skittles in here. There's Mike and Ike.
Oh, okay.
There's a Mike and Ike. There's Starburst, things like that.
Okay.
There's Tick and Tack.
Tick and Tack.
So lots and lots of candy names. They're very colorful, as you can tell. They're very loud. I'm probably screaming over them.
You can probably hear it on our microphones.
Move them away a little bit. But these are lorikeets.
Okay.
Lorikeets,
so yes. You guys have had them for a while.
Yeah, so this is about 2000. We've had them 12 years now.
Wow. Okay.
The flock of lorikeets. I got one on my head. These guys are types of parrots that are found in Australasia. Do you know where that is, Mike?
It's in Asia.
There you go. We're asking the weatherman about geography. We'll see how he does here.
Don't make me look bad.
So Australasia is Australia and all the surrounding islands around it. All those little dotted islands around Australia is Australasia. And lorikeets are all found in that region. They are types of parrots found in that region.
I've noticed you guys have a lot of, recently we've been talking about a lot of Australian animals. Is our climate a lot like, I mean, assuming our climate's a lot like theirs and that they can handle being here better, right?
That's exactly why.
Okay.
It's exactly why we do it.
I know something.
You do know something occasionally because it's weather related. Notice. All right. So our climate is very much like theirs. We're on the same, I don't know what you call it, latitudes.
Yeah.
And
in the southern northern, yeah.
So these guys, right, exactly. But they have the same climate. And so what we really like to do is show how same climate created very different animals.
Okay, yeah.
And so we do a lot of contrast and compare with Australia here with our animals. And they survive and do very well here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And look at you guys are giving each other little kisses.
So these guys are really special lorikeets, special parrots, because lorikeets eat nectar. So they have a very special bottle brush tongue. I don't know if she'll be able to catch it on there, but this bottle brush tongue of theirs sticks inside flowers, and that pulls all the nectar out. So these guys actually then go to another flower, and they're actually pollinators.
Now, do they feed each other? Because I noticed they're kind of like touching beaks. And
if they are if they are mates or they are friends, they will feed one another.
Oh, so these two are mates
Yes.
on my hands.
So they are friends right there.
Oh, hello. Hi.
And there are 55 different species of lorikeets, and we have about 11 species here at Turtle Bay
Wow.
to really show the diversity of these little parrots.
Okay. Well, that is awesome. So you can come here, you can get these little nectar things, and they'll come on you and
Yes.
hang out with you like this guy right here. Oh, hi. That was very loud in my ear. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's a Forstens lorikeet. You have a red lory on you. You have, I have a green nape, and so we have all different species, and it is free to get in, free. It's with park admission to Turtle Bay. You don't have to pay any extra to come on in and experience them, but if you want to feed them, it's $2 a cup for nectar, and all of that money goes to help pay for their food.
Yeah, come on. Think about all the Cokes that you spend on yourself. Come on, help these guys out a little bit here. Well, I appreciate you, Sharon. I appreciate all you. I appreciate you, Mike and Ike and Skittle and whatever all your names are. We will be back next week with another edition of Turtle Bay's Wonderful World of Animals. So that was always fun. I always loved getting out there. And yeah, it is really neat. I think they're just flying all around you. You get that whole experience here. So I highly recommend that you get out there and check that out. By the way, I want to remind everyone that I am on the radio every weekday morning with 3 different radio stations. My radio partners, of course, we start with K Shasta, 104.3 with Don and Heather in the mornings at 7:35 is when you'll hear me on the radio with them. And then, of course, Logan Kane in the AM at 106X, 106.1 as a matter of fact. At about 7:50 in the morning, I do a weather update with him. And then, of course, on News Talk KQMS, a little after 8 o'clock, in fact, about 8:05 is when we do an update here with the weather. And we just kind of chat about the weather a little bit. They'll try to stump me with some weather questions. It's a lot of fun. So if you like to get your news in the morning from KQMS, note that at about 8:05, you can also get your weather, your latest weather update from me here at Weather NorCal on KQMS at about 8:05 in the morning. Let's get you to your forecast here. But before we get to your deeper dive, we got to, of course, mention our sponsor, which is made possible by Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. All right, so I want to thank Wind River Resort and Casino for their support of Weather NorCal. I want to thank your support as well by watching here, Coffee with Krueger in the morning. Of course, you can watch many other different ways as well throughout the day. Get your latest forecast as well. Right now, we're sitting at about 54 degrees for Redding, 51 in Willows, 27 for Alturas, 32 degrees in Susanville. Looks like that upper 30s for Eureka, but a bit warmer out in Crescent City right now at about 48 degrees at the current hour. Let's go and take a look at what else we got going on. Is my map going to work? All right, it is. Here's your headlines. Dry and warm to start off the week, but showers return as early as Wednesday for some of us, which we'll get into that here in a second. Significantly cooler by Thursday. We're going to see about a 20-degree drop in a matter of 3 to 4 days. All right, so from today till about Thursday. With snow levels dropping to as low as 2,500 feet, you're talking the potential for a rain-snow mix from places like Weaverville and Hayfork, not out of the question here. All right, here's a look at Futurecast today. Sunny skies, even for mostly along the coast here. Now, what we're going to notice tomorrow is we will start to see a few more clouds start to roll in. There's going to be a very weak disturbance that'll kind of push through. So you can see a few showers trying to develop here tomorrow afternoon. I think it'll be dry for the most part on Tuesday, but see the clouds beginning to make their way here along the coast right here. So we'll probably start to see more of the low clouds begin to make their way along the coast. But by Tuesday evening, we may see a brief shower for parts of northern Shasta County, eastern Siskiyou, and not to mention even parts of Modoc County as well. Once that moves out, we've got another disturbance coming in from the north and west. Now, this is the main one I've got my eyes on. That could bring some of us some showers as early as Wednesday. All right, so here's Wednesday morning. It's just going to clip the northwestern portions of the state. So Del Norte County, if you wake up Wednesday morning with a few light showers, don't be surprised, but it's not going to be much. Otherwise, it's dry and even clear for the valley, and not to mention the eastern mountains as well. But we're already starting to see some clouds in advance of the system coming in from the north. So as we go into Wednesday afternoon, you see how it kind of pushes through. Now, what we're seeing here is that Siskiyou County, Modoc County, you're seeing the showers, right? But we're also seeing it for Shasta County and even Tehama County. But look, it just barely misses Chico. So for now, what I've got here is for Wednesday afternoon, a chance for showers for Redding, down to Corning, but Chico, Willows, Oroville, you'll most likely be dry. If you see a shower, if this just shifts a little bit more to the south, then maybe a chance for showers. So I've included that chance in there, but I think any showers will mainly be for Reading, Red Bluff, and Corning. And then, of course, east of that, we're seeing it in Lassen County and Modoc County. Now, take note, too, this is 5 p.m. Wednesday. We're not really seeing much in the way of frozen precipitation, that is snow, right? Seeing maybe a bit of a mix for some of those highest elevations, but this is going to start off warm. We've got to get the colder air in place, which will be coming in behind that. All that colder air is going to be coming in behind that by Thursday, and that's when we'll start to lower those snow levels. Now, the winds, they've been a little gusty this morning. I just got a report from Red Bluff, right? Excuse me, that we are seeing some breezy conditions for places like Red Bluff, southward into Willows. So it looks like Tehama County, Glenn, and even parts of Butte County, a little breezy. So be a little bit breezy at times for many of us here today. And then again for your Tuesday, and a bit of a shift in those winds as well. And then as we see that system come through on Wednesday, those winds will really start to kind of ramp up. So we'll call it breezy, borderline windy as we take you on into your Wednesday. In the meantime, of course, we've got that ridge of high pressure that's in place right now. That's what's giving us the gorgeous weather today. That ridge of high pressure will kind of shift to the east and southeast, and eventually, this is what we're watching here for Wednesday. So in advance of that, we've got that chance for showers kicking in. But the colder air is still up here. That colder air then moves in by Thursday, Friday. That's when the snow levels really begin to drop. And then we continue to see a chance for showers even as we go into the weekend. You see another disturbance kind of passing through for Saturday, Sunday. But after this weekend, we'll begin to see kind of a weak ridge of high pressure begin to build in, and this will allow us to dry out and even probably warm up by the beginning of next week. So looking at the precipitation outlook, it's not a lot of rain, by the way. So yes, I'm talking about the chances for rain in the extended outlook, but actually when we look at that, we're actually in the near normal category, meaning we're just not going to see a lot of rainfall out of it. In fact, we take a look at the outlook through Sunday. I mean, this is combining everything from today all the way through Sunday of this upcoming weekend here, right? So we're combining all of those days together. I think we'll be lucky to get 1/4 of an inch in parts of the valley here, if not less than that. Now, it looks like the bulk of it will be to the east of the valley into the north and east. It might be overdoing it as far as rain is concerned for places like Aden and Alturas, but you get the idea. I mean, even the coast, lucky to get 1/4 of an inch out of this. So this is not going to be a big rain producing event as we go through the next several days. So keep that in mind when you look at the 7-day forecast. You're going to see a lot of those raindrops, right? But it's going to be for brief periods of time. It's going to be one of those situations that starting Wednesday, it's off and on. You know, it's very what we call convective in nature, where you see that brief shower, maybe even a heavier downpour, and then it clears out, and then we kind of see another repeat of that. It's kind of off and on and off and on from Wednesday all the way through the weekend. But there it is. Here's the overall trend when we're talking temperatures. That ridge of high pressure keeping us warm today and tomorrow, but there's that pocket of cold air. That's what's coming down and will approach on Wednesday, but really won't be overhead until Thursday. That's when we go from about mid to upper 70s today to the mid 50s by Thursday, because we get that bomb of colder air moving in. That stays in place for Friday, but then it kind of moves out. We see some more cold air kind of come in, but not as cold, but still keeping those temperatures below normal. In fact, we look at the climate prediction centers below normal. Now, one of the things I want to point out, because a lot of people don't 100% understand when looking at this map what it 100% means, okay? So when you see these darker shades of blue, you think, oh my gosh, it's going to be super cold, right? It's going to be below freezing. We got all this Arctic air. No, here's the thing. When you see these darker shades of color, what that's saying is a better chance of seeing below normal temperatures, a smaller chance of seeing below normal temperatures, right? So when we get in these dark blues, it's pretty much guaranteed that our temperatures are at least going to be below normal. So it's going to be much cooler out there, right? All right, so we look at the wave heights, and there you can see they're going to be about 8 to 10 feet. So there is actually that small correct advisory today, but by tomorrow, those wave heights should begin to drop. So looking at marine forecast for your Monday, north winds at 10 to 15 knots, waves from the northwest at 8 feet at about 10 seconds, and from the west at 4 feet at about 12 seconds. There's your high and low tide, your sunrise and sunset, and there's that small correct advisory I was talking about. All right, let's go and take a look at our forecast here, and we're going to kind of take a look at the overall footprint here. Gorgeous. Mid to maybe even some upper 70s for the valley. And there you can see those 60s for many of the higher elevations. 74 in Weaverville, 71 for Hayfork, 78 in Willow Creek. And there you can see out along the coast, temperatures in the low 60s, although climate about 69 degrees for your daytime high. So let's take a look at that 7-day outlook. And there you can see the sunny skies, beautiful weather through tomorrow, off and on showers starting Wednesday, all the way through the weekend. But again, looking at this, you might think, oh my gosh, it's going to be wet every day. No, there are going to be days where you probably won't even see a drop of rain. Like Chico, for example. I think you might be dry on Wednesday, and then maybe a chance for showers Thursday, Friday, and then as we go into the weekend, it's just going to be these weak disturbances kind of passing to our north. And as I mentioned, I think combined, when you combine Wednesday all the way through Sunday, maybe a quarter of an inch at most in some areas. So it's not going to be a lot of rainfall. Snow levels starting up high on Wednesday, 6,000 feet, but they will get much lower with that colder air moving in. From 74 in Weaverville today to 49 degrees on Thursday. Big drop in the temperatures and of course a big drop in those snow levels, especially for this time of the year. Now we take a look at the mountains here. There you can see the coast, the inland areas, and not to mention out in Weaverville. We take out to Mount Shasta, El Turris, and Susanville. Once again, 6,000 feet, 2,500 to 3,000 feet Thursday. But then by the weekend, it looks like those snow levels may kind of increase and rise a little bit here as we do go in towards the weekend. And of course, by early next week, we're looking at those drier conditions making their way here as well. All right, so that's a look at your forecast. That's kind of the deeper dive. Hopefully I was able to answer your questions. If you have any questions here, this is a great opportunity. Because I go through all of your comments and I try to read them all. And if you have any questions about what's going on, I can hopefully answer those for you. Let's see if we got anything going on here with new comments here. Rose saying that she likes the detailed forecast so I know when to protect my young plants in my garden. You know, and the other question a lot of people have been asking is this it for the rain? Or when is it going to stop? But it just doesn't look, you know, the thing is, number one, we always get these late season, we tend to, right? A lot of times get these late season, early season storms. And, you know, we just have to kind of roll with the punches. And, you know, we look at this wet pattern, it breaks apart. We could see another one going into mid-April, maybe late April. We'll see. I mean, as we start getting into June and May, that's when, if we start seeing that more consistent warm pattern, that's when you can start saying, all right, I think it might be behind us. But, you know, we still got the month of April, folks. You know, what's typical saying, April showers bring May flowers? Yeah, I mean, we could still be looking at more rainfall through the month of April. And I know a lot of you are probably sick of the rain. I know a lot of people have been saying, oh, I'm so tired of all this rain. When is it going to stop? But this is good. We need the rain. We are above normal for most of us for the season when it comes to rain. The snowpack is doing beautifully. It's over 100% on average for most of California. So we've got a great reserve for that snowpack to melt and keep our reservoirs going. And just let's keep it coming. Let's keep the more snow we can get up in the snowpack, the better, right? Because that's a good reserve for us as we go into the summer season. Are you expecting any snow over Highway 299 west this week? I would say yes, because we are looking at those lower snow levels going into Thursday and Friday in particular. That's when I expect the lowest snow levels. I think places like Buckhorn Summit, maybe even Oregon Mountain could see some snow. However, that being said, I don't think it will amount to a lot. But it's one of those things, just kind of keep watching. But yes, I would anticipate that if we can get some of that precipitation over Trinity County, which we will, it will be in the form of snow down to as low as 2,500 feet. So Buckhorn Summit, Oregon Mountain, maybe Berry Summit as well, could be looking at that potential for chain requirements. We'll see. I don't think it'll be heavy enough for it to create major problems, but of course then you're always talking about Scott Mountain Pass too, right, on Highway 3 in North Trinity County, making its way into Siskiyou County, where you do see better potential for seeing snow there as well. So glad I was able to maybe answer your question there, Lauren, and you may have some concerns about traveling. I'd say at this point I wouldn't be terribly concerned about it because, like I said, it probably won't be a lot of snow. And I don't expect any heavy downpours or, you know, tons of snow. But we could see a mix possibly down to Weaverville, and not to mention the Hayfork area as well. All right, folks, that is going to do it for today. Coffee with Krueger every weekday morning at 6:30. Be sure to keep checking in here. We're going to leave you with a couple of cameras here with a little bit of music. Cue up the music, as they say. And we will, of course, be here again. I will be here again bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30. We will see you on Coffee with Krueger tomorrow morning. Until then, enjoy this beautiful, beautiful day over Northern California before that cooler weather sets in. Have a great day, everyone.